No. I'm sorry, mate. No, I can't do it for less than 40 quid. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on, blimey. You drive a hard bargain. You do 40 quid? All right. The money's in the drawer there. 40 quid, I don't know. Come on, now. Hey, listen. Don't you go back on your word.
Oh.
Worth every penny. This play. Let's have a look. Quick check of the script. Always enjoying that. Now then, Escape from Stalag 27. Good, a war play. I like them. Now, I've got the guns. The door of Up 13. Yeah, that works. Now they're digging for the tunnel. Yeah, let's check that out. The marching feet, yeah. Right then, the siren, I've got that here. Cool, I'll have trouble stopping that one. Now, let me think. The dogs, the air raid, the train and the cars are on me tapes. Right, well, I'm ready. Bring on the war.
Good morning.
Morning, love. Yeah.
Morning.
Oh, you're back again?
Yes.
Morning.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Now remember, this is a live transmission, so let's keep it nice and sharp. Are we all ready?
Yes, Vanessa.
Yes.
Neville?
All right, love, yeah.
Right. Good luck, everybody. Here we go.
We present Radio Theatre. This week, part 3 of our classic drama serial, Jane Eyre. In last week's episode, Jane had taken up the position of governess at Thornfield. Her employer, Mr. Rochester, had proven to be an irascible man, yet Jane was extremely happy. Never more so than when walking in the hills overlooking the house. Suddenly, she heard a noise behind her that made her start. It was the sound of Mr. Rochester chasing after her. His horse broke into a trot.
Jane! Hold up there!
His horse pulled up beside Jane.
I've been searching for you everywhere.
Me, sir? Why, sir?
I've suddenly realized something, Jane. I adore you.
Adore me, sir? You can't adore me, sir. I'm so plain.
Oh, Jane, you silly goose. Quack. You must realize the way I feel.
Oh,
Why, what is it?
I don't know. A moment ago I was fine. Now suddenly I'm inexplicably cold.
'Tis only the wind. It blows across the moors. Listen to the way it howls. Here, take my coat. We must return instantly to Thornfield. I think it's coming on to rain. It might even hail.
Later that evening, Jane and Rochester renewed their conversation within the portals of the oak-lined library. With intensity, they faced each other before the incandescent glow of an open fire.
Open fire! Oh, my darling Jane, I hope you now realize that I am sincere in my intent. You have stirred something deep inside me.
Haven't I made my feelings plain?
I feel the same for you, my darling. Please, hold me. Kiss me. I think I hear somebody by the front door.
No, there's no one at the door.
Perhaps it was Grace Poole.
Don't worry about Grace. There is no cause for you to be alarmed. Oh, my darling. Say you'll marry me.
Of course, my love. I've always dreamed of walking down the aisle in a silken dress with a veil and a long train.
And so it came to be that Rochester and Jane were engaged. In their happiness, little did either of them suspect the sordid details of Rochester's past that would soon be unearthed. Or the scuffle that would break out at the wedding. Tune in tomorrow for part 4 of Jane Eyre. In a minute, the shipping forecast.
Princess, will you will you Princess, what I'm trying to say is, will you will you cut a long story short, Princess, will you move your foot?
I've got you banged to rights, my son. Now, you better come Barry Sheen, or else I'm going to lose my solo whist.
Solo whist?
Patience! You and your sister done that old lady in, and I want the belch.
The what?
The belch, the uncouth, the truth, Hansel.
Here, Gav. Word in your ear.
Any joy out of Gretel?
Nah, she keeps saying the woodcutter done it.
Ah. Same old fairy tale, eh? All right, Hansel. Let's go over it one more time, shall we? You and your sister Gretel are walking through the woods, and you come across this house made of sweeties.
Gingerbread, yeah, it is so.
Oh, do me a porkies, you don't get houses made of sweets.
Here, Gav. What made of licorice all sorts, was it?
What?
Well, I was just thinking it could have been a Barrett's home.
Right. So, the old lady kidnaps you and locks you in a box and feeds you to make you fat so she can eat you.
Yeah, it is so.
Well, why does she want to eat you?
Because she is starving hungry.
Then why, clever Fritz, doesn't she eat the food she's giving you? No, I'm not buying it now. This story's got more holes in it than a second-hand Toyota. And then this woodcutter turns up from nowhere, right? Chops the old lady up, naffs off, and you and your sister eat the house.
Yeah, it is true.
It's porkies, mate, from start to finish. I'll tell you, brother, this whole tale's grim. Yeah. I'll tell you what happened. Your sister's not Gretel, is she? Hey, she's your Satchmo.
Satchmo?
Satchmo, trumpet, crumpet. Yes. I'll tell you what happened as well. You was ligging out the waterworks, planning a fancy dam. In comes a breeze blocks, and before you know it, your sink is full. Your parrot needs your jelly. The Blue Danube turn up with half a dozen Sputniks, and you're right in the Lloyd and Webber, aren't you? So what do? You pull a monkey, give her the 4 and 9s, borrow a spanner, and pull a Camptown racist. You're Nick, mate. Take him down to Dingley Dell.
What's the Dingley Dell, Gov?
Dingley Dell, sell. You haven't understood a word I've said, have you? Bring us another cup of Rosie Lee. Horlicks.
Right, well, I think you can go home now, Mr. Johnson.
I don't feel very well.
Aha, yes, well, we need the bed.
That's the unmistakable sound of an M16 automatic, your enemy's deadliest weapon. That's the sound of a ceiling falling on my head. Good God. The son, I'm younger every day. How old are you, soldier?
11, sir.
He's just a kid. Okay, grunts, listen up. You hear anything?
No, sir!
Good. That means the ceiling's clear. Okay, grunts. Get this into your thick skulls. Never enter a room and try and impress people by shooting into the ceiling. It's a dumb thing to do. Okay, we're shipping out tomorrow. We're going out by plane. Now, some of you will be coming back in a bag. Some of you will be coming back in several bags. Some of you will be coming back in a bucket. Why, sir? It's that kind of movie. Listen, when you got home, your best friend was your mother. Come to think of it, in Bernstein's case, he was my best friend, too. Now, you got a new friend. You never let it out of your sight. You clean it every day. You take it to bed with you. You sleep with it. If anybody tries to take it from you, you kill him.
That's a furry Mickey Mouse, sir!
Where'd I leave my gun? Okay, soldiers, loosen up. Okay, soldiers, that's enough.
Okay, soldiers, that's enough!
Shut your face or I'll get tough.
Shut your face or I'll get tough!
You soldier, you. Come on after me. Hit me right there.
Sir?
Hit me right there.
I don't want to hurt
You won't hurt me, just... Get a snuff, kid. Come on, hit me again, okay? You soldier, hit me. Come on, hit me. Three things you gotta remember, Crunch. The first is that ceiling business I told you about. The second is learn the words to that song. And the third is never play with kids who fight dirty.
Let me give you a hand, look. I'm coming to help you. I'm coming to help you. I get you.
No. That's mine.
Thanks. Look. Yep. Hey, look. Yep. Yeah, I've been thinking.
And?
Yeah.
Neither can I. Can't even spit like I used to. No. You know, I used to be the champion of Dodge City. I could drown a boll weevil in the next county and still have enough left to kiss my horse.
Kiss you what?
Kiss my horse.
That ain't no way to speak to your buddy.
No. I said kiss my... Kiss my...
Wife.
No, never kissed her, no. Only made love twice. Yeah. First time I was freezing cold, and second time I was boiling hot.
How come, Luke?
Well, first time was in January, and the second time was in July.
I remember my honeymoon. My young bride said, go to town. So I did. And when I got back a year later, dang me, she'd gone. What?
Ain't that a woman?
Dunno, I ain't from these parts.
Ah, boys, you got room for a little while?
Oh, I heard that somewhere before. Oh,
Why, Luke, is that a gun in your pocket, or are you just pleased to see me?
it's a gun in my pocket.
Yeah, and it ain't got off in years. Yeah, I'll be re-smugged. I remember when I was a little bitty boy, I could travel 40 miles in the saddle and not get sore.
Oh, how's that?
I didn't have a horse.
Horse!
What?
Horse, that's it! Horse!
What?
Kiss my horse!
Speak to a lady, you old cowpoke.
Hold, eh? You got a nickel?
Yeah, I got one somewhere. Hang on.
Toss it in the air.
Okay. Oops. Wait. Ain't you supposed to draw first?
Carnation, I knew there was something. Why? What's that over yonder?
I can't see nothing.
Neither can I. Town's kind of quiet, ain't it?
Luke, I reckon you're dead.
Step outside and say that.
You know, I never thought he'd go.
Yeah, well. Don't like the sound of them drums.
Oh.
Sorry about that. He's not our regular drummer.
Who was that?
Coaches.
Yeah, but there's a sign outside on the door saying no coaches. Come on, we best go. Come on, Luke. Let me get you. I got you. Come on. Come on. Come on. You know, Luke, I reckon we're past it. Yeah, I reckon it's time we moseyed on down to that old sunset home in the sky.
Hey, you're not gonna run this, honey. Ain't no room in the world for a broken down old cowboy.
How did he break your leg then?
Well, it all started when I was up mending my roof, right? Yeah. And I fell off onto the back of a passing lorry.
You're joking.
No. It was all right until the lorry pulled up sharp at the traffic lights, and I slid off the back, straight into a cement mixer, which poured me down a big hole in the middle of the road.
No. What happened then?
Well, after they chipped me out the plaster, right, and put me in the back of the ambulance, we was going uphill, and I noticed they hadn't shut the back doors properly.
Oh, yeah? When did you notice that, then?
When I fell out under the 93 bus.
You went through all that and just broke your leg? You must have been born lucky.
Ah, me. I've got a rabbit's foot. Good evening. Here is the news. Excuse me. Yes. Yes, hello, Billy. Yes, well, Daddy's rather busy at the moment. Yeah. Well, look, I'll ring you after past, all right? Yes? Okay. Sorry about this. A scandal concerning the Prime Minister... Yes? Yes, I'll tell you a story. Yes. Bye-bye. As I was saying, here is the news. A scandal concerning the Prime Minister's own... Now, Billy, what did Daddy just say? What? What? It's in the cupboard under the stairs. Yes. But of course you can reach the knob. You can open the fridge, can't you? No, I really must... Where's Mummy? She's what? But who's Uncle Jack? Yes, well, I'm sure he's a big man, but who is he? Well, very big, yes. Yeah, but who is he? He gave you what? Well, I hope you didn't eat them all at once. That's Mr. Bristow from next door. Mummy's with Mr. Bristow? Where? They're playing a game. The news continues in just a moment. They told you to count to what? But even Daddy can't count to that. Now, yes, Billy, look, now, go and knock on Mummy's door. Mummy said you hadn't to. Well, yes, well, Daddy says you do. Yes, I'll wait. Yes, no, I won't go away. Whilst we're waiting, here is the rest of the news. FA Cup 5th round replay. Vera, what the hell? Hello, Billy. Yes. No, you won't go until I tell you a story, but that's blackmail, Billy. I will not tell you... I will... Once upon a time, there was a little boy who was very naughty and wouldn't do what Daddy told him. And do you know what happened? He was struck by lightning. Now, no, don't cry. No, listen, Daddy didn't mean it. Daddy loves you, yes. Of course Daddy loves Mummy. Well, no, not Uncle Jack so much, no. Uncle Jack called me a what? That's not nice, Billy. Even if it is true, it's not nice. But who keeps laughing, Billy? Billy, who keeps... Billy? Finally, the weather. Would you believe it's going to chuck it down? Shut up.
I got steam heat. I got steam heat. Hello, card watchers. I admire your taste. You're probably wondering why I'm wearing this. It's all part of the rigorous preparation for the strenuous leading role in my new operetta. I've dedicated it to all my chums of British Telecom. One could call it a telephone operetta. Manners. Oh, time's up. I got steam heat. The steam has shriveled my dicky. My operetta is an adaptation of the immortal classic, The Prisoner of Zenda. Perhaps you remember the film starring Ronald Colman. Sad now, isn't it, that he's on Question of Sport? Back to The Prisoner of Zenda. I've called this sequel Return to Zenda.
Well, Black Michael, what news?
Good news, Lady Mary. I have drugged the king, put him in a carriage, and dragged him through the snow, thick snow. He is now incarcerated in my dungeon. He shall not be at the coronation, and I shall be king. And you, my Lady Mary, shall be queen.
Thank you, my people.
It is the king. It can't be. You're his betrothed.
Go and take him into the garden, find out who or what he is, and then stab him.
Stab him?
Yes. Lady Mary, please be wary, go and find out the cause. My future wife there keeps a knife there up the leg of her drawers.
Your Majesty.
What? Me? Oh, yes, that's right, I'm the king. This must be Lady Mary, the king's betrothed. I, of course, am Rudolph Rassendell, English tourist, who, because of my uncanny resemblance to the king, am posing as him, the king, that is, in order to foil the dastardly revolutionary coup engineered by Black Michael, the king's rascally brother. Forgive me for talking to myself, but someone has to do the plot.
What did he say? Oh, never mind. I shall eavesdrop during the next waltz.
How excited you must be, my betrothed, on the eve of your coronation. Not to mention our impending nuptials.
Indeed.
Happy?
Ecstatically.
When did you first?
When I was 14, did wonders for my pimples. They disappeared like gilt-off gingerbread.
I'm so glad. And you never...
Not for a moment.
Even when...
Especially not then.
And neither of us could...
Well, we were in Tesco's.
Tell me, is there something...
Yes.
What's that?
Who's this man we're dancing with?
You mean you don't recognize your own brother?
Of course I do, George. How could I possibly forget my brother? Colin, Ian, Wixie, Lofty, Den. I don't think he's suspected. Come into my arms. We go together like ice cream and...
Crushed nuts!
No, I'm quite comfortable. What's wrong?
It's amazing.
So I've been told.
Suddenly I realized that you're not...
No, I'm not.
And yet you look like him.
I even talk like him.
Ah, the way you roll your R's.
I also walk like him.
Your Majesty.
Yes.
Is this an excuse me?
Yes.
Excuse me.
What means this, Michael?
The king has a birthmark on his left elbow. It says, born Ruritania 1886. Sir, you have none such.
No, sir. But I do have this.
Best before 8th of August.
Well, it was worth a try.
Sir, say your last words.
Well, it was worth a try.
Sir, you are a charlatan.
A what?
You heard me. Charlatan, charlatan. You're just a pretender.
I see, like me, you're seeing the prisoner of Zenda.
He'll brain ya.
You'll find that I slain ya.
Here in old Ruritania, now in South Carolina.
Sir, you shall die. En garde.
In this duel, I now intend to run you through. Well, your lady friend took cause you're cruel. Your lives shall end today, and here we like to say, touche.
Well, let's see who got the verdict. Black Michael, 19, and Rudolph Rassendell, 25. So all is well. Black Michael is dead. I love only you, and the real king has been released.
At last I shall meet my double face to face. It's like looking in a mirror. Come, let us splice our nuptials without ado. After all, ado is so expensive. We shall go to England for our honeymoon. You'll love it. We'll stay up late every night and watch Wogan. But remember, my darling, we shall always return to Zenda. Address on no such number, no such...